Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this quick video, I am going to share with you 7 super easy variations to feet up the wall or Viparita Karani. Now, this pose is so great for relaxing you, resetting the nervous system on a lower, more relaxed, calmer level, restoring the legs if they're feeling fatigued. It's amazing. Now, I will also add that it isn't necessarily appropriate if you happen to be on your cycle. Some people find if the hips and heart are at the same height, so you're just laying flat on the floor with your feet up, feels okay. Other people don't feel real comfortable with that, so you can test that out, but there is definitely a couple of poses that you won't want to do, and I'll share that in the video. Another thing you want to be careful of is if you have any issues in which extra blood pressure in your eyes can be an issue, then you definitely don't want to be doing this. So things such as a detached retina, where that pressure in the eye can be dangerous. Finally, if you have high blood pressure, this one can be a bit dicey. So if you can measure your blood pressure afterwards, you might want to do that. If you are medicated to normal, it's probably going to be okay, but just test it, go slowly, be gentle, and take care of yourself. Now, if you enjoy this video, I would love it if you would like it, subscribe to my channel, definitely comment below and let me know what you learned. Thanks for joining us, and I'll meet you on the mat. Okay, so first of all, a great way to modify if your hamstrings aren't really flexible is to come further away from the wall so you don't have to be as tight, or you can also bend your knees. If you're flexible enough and comfortable getting right up next to the wall, go ahead and do that. Now from here, the arms can rest on the belly, can be down by the side like Shavasana, can be in cactus pose, or up and overhead. Just make sure it's comfortable for the shoulders and the arms don't feel like they're starting to fall asleep. Variations for the legs, there's much we can do in this pose. So you can bring the soles of the feet down, moving toward Baddha Konasana. You can take the feet apart for Upavishta Konasana. This is definitely an active pose. So you're really extending the legs and gravity is pulling them down, right? So you have to stay active. So you can also prop those legs up with your hands, or you could put blocks here too if you wanted to support them. One of my very favorite variations is lying pigeon. So crossing the ankle just above the knee and sliding your heel down, getting right into that hip. It feels so delightful. All right, the next variations make it even more restorative. You can triple fold 2 blankets, or if you're doing this as bedtime yoga, you can just use your big pillows that you have in your bed and put them on each side of you. And then you come up, and I just leave them there, right, as I do whatever variations that I want to do. And then knees come down and take them to the side to be supported. And then I'll bring them back up, pause, and take them down to the other side. Now, I'm pretty flexible with a twist, as you can see. So if you're not, you can just keep both of them, pile them all up. That even feels better for me, to be honest. That feels really good. Okay, so another more restorative way that you can do this is by taking your blankets into plank fold, and you can do 1 or 2 height. I'm going to do 2 to make it a little bit more obvious so you can see it, and placing it away from the wall. So it's about 4 inches or so away from the wall. If your hamstrings are tight, the tighter they are, the further away the blankets are going to need to be, and I'll show you why. To get up, you come right to the edge, and then, at least theoretically if it works, you just gracefully flip those legs up and bam, look at that. So what you want to feel is that your pelvis is spilling over the back side. So it's lifting the belly up a little bit here, and this is where you see why it's called waterfall. You want to feel your prana, your chi coming down through the legs, cascading over the belly and into your throat. This is a really good one for your thyroid. And if you are really tight, you can't get up close to the wall, right? It will look like this. And then if you can see it, and I'll exaggerate it, the belly kind of sinks here. It's not being lifted. So if you have to be further away from the wall, all you have to do is move the blanket further away from the wall in order to get you into that position. It feels really good. Now, I'll also add that if you are on your cycle, this one is definitely contraindicated. Don't be doing this one. You can test the hips on the floor, as I mentioned earlier, and see how it feels for you. I have one more variation to share with you that also uses the plank setup that we did, but you are going to use them slightly differently. You'll take one away from the wall, spaced the same way we just talked about, and the other one which will come underneath your spine. Now, I will say that you can do two here and one here if you want, and that'll lift your hips up a little bit more, so you're going to have that cascade effect that we talked about in the last variation. If that feels good for you, you can definitely do that if you have enough props, etc. This one helps open up your heart as well, which is lovely. Now, getting up is a little trickier because you do have to land in the center for sure. So again, if you're right on the edge and you flip those legs up, usually with luck, you land right where you want to. And so this opens up a little bit more across the heart. You can see my pelvis isn't lifted up, so this might feel okay if you're on your cycle. Again, test it, see how it feels for you, and then enjoy. It feels so good. I hope you enjoyed all of these variations of Viparita Karani. Feet up the wall. Comment below, let me know which one you are going to try next. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. I totally appreciate every one that I get. And subscribe to the channel so that you know every time that I release and drop a new video. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.